Last night we talked about a couple of First Amendment cases, one that made it to the Supreme Court and another that didn't, and it pointed out the dichotomy between the two. On the one hand, the Supreme Court was willing to take the case and hear the case concerning the virulent, vicious, hate-infested gutter dribblings of the Westboro Baptist Church. You recall. What did the Supreme Court refuse to hear? Why, they refused to hear the case of a couple of liberals who were denied entrance to a publicly funded the George Bush event in Colorado. The only difference being that one was the religion industry and one was not. Well, I have one more, I guess sort of the rubber match case. This will probably find its way to the Supreme Court sooner or later. It's presently in the 9th United States Circuit Court of Appeals, and it's been filed by Americans United. And this is fit to make you scream. This concerns one of those people who is, shall we say, fragile within our society. By that I mean this individual had run afoul of the law, at which point one's rights become negligible, if at all. The woman's name is Janene Cowles, C-O-W-L-E-S. She ran afoul of the law some way, living while poor, one of those type infractions. Janene Cowles was given the choice of either going back to the Ada County Jail in Idaho, or she could go into what was called a discipleship recovery program at the Boise Rescue Mission. Oh, come on. Who wants to stay in the stir for a year if you can go to the homeless the discipleship recovery program? Right? There's only one problem. She refused to convert to Pentecostal Christianity. You know what I said about the hair done up to Jesus and the polyester and everything, and the Happy Goodman family. Yeah, she didn't want to be a Pentecostal Christian. Floor rolling, strychnine swigging, serpent handling. I've got a serpent story later. And most of all, she didn't want to spend her life, I don't know, listening to the likes of this. Hey, they got a horn section. That's a righteous bass player. And I do mean righteous. Self-righteous even. Yeah, there's only one problem. Janene Cowles wasn't almost home. She got stuck back in the stir. She failed to convert to Pentecostal Christianity, and they sent her back to jail. And she and the Intermountain Fair Housing Council have sued the mission for religious discrimination. Here's the fun part. It's a federal case. She made a federal case of it. And this is the part where you get to scream. The U.S. District Court dismissed her case. Bear in mind, remember, she was told, convert or go back to jail. Jesus, at least the Quran says there can be no compulsion, no coercion in religion. Not so much the Prince of Peace, I guess. Convert or go back to jail. I guess it's better than convert or die, but that's probably because, they felt like somebody might be watching. And the United States District Court dismissed her case and said that the mission's ejection of Cowles from its residence... What did I say last night? What have I said? Time after time after time after time. The First Amendment to the Constitution of the United States in this country has no longer anything whatsoever to do with free speech or freedom of religion, unless your religion is what the religion industry wants it to be. In short, the First Amendment to the Constitution of the United States of America is no longer anything but a life support system for the religion industry. The district court ruled that the Fair Housing Act, the Federal Fair Housing Act, cannot be applied to the Boise Rescue Mission because it would violate their freedom of religion. Janene Cowles had no free exercise of religion. She could not reject their dummied up, ginned up, faked up, rubed up, frauded up, fundamentalist, floor rolling, strychnine drinking, snake handling, tongue speaking fundamentalism. She was not free to reject that if she wished to remain out of jail. The church, however, was free to reject her for simply wanting to peaceably participate in the program without getting half drowned by some idiot with a snake in his hands. Now, here's the fun part. Here's the, what do they say in carnival speak? Here's the blow-off. The discipleship and recovery program of the Boise Rescue Mission, by their own admission, depends heavily upon the state of Idaho for participants and in return provides the state with a free residential program. That kind of makes the Boise Rescue Mission an agent of the state, doesn't it? And when the court says, thou shalt go, go ye therefore, or go back to jail, well, that contains an element of state sponsorship and sanction as well, doesn't it? It's moments like this that I'm awfully glad for Americans United and their executive director, the Reverend Barry W. Lynn. But I have to be candid when I say that I don't have a lot of hope for the outcome of the case. Because this is just one in a line of cases. You may recall a couple of years ago, a girl who had been physically abused in an exorcism ceremony by a fundamentalist church in Texas. She had been physically harmed. She had had the civil torts of battery committed against her and assault. And she sued the church, and the Texas State Supreme Court said, nope, can't sue them. If we allowed you to sue the church for damages, you'd be violating the church's First Amendment rights. See, that's the thing. Because the First Amendment has been reduced to little more than a shadow of itself and nothing more than a life support system for the religion industry, the courts have lost sight of the fact that things like the First Amendment are individual, even the Second Amendment. They are individual rights. No person, time and again, no person, Congress shall make no law affecting the endorsing a religion or limiting the free exercise thereof. Who exercises a right to freedom of religion? An individual does, not a church. I'm not sure if they're claiming that the church had a right to throw her out because she volunteered for the program, but I wouldn't be surprised if that's part of the argument somewhere down the road. Well, you know, she didn't have no rights. We got the right to tell her where to go, and when we say Froggy, all she has to do is say how high, or it's back in the box. What we have here is failure to communicate.